story told in the style of
R.L. Stein.
Yes. Tom Clancy.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Dr. Seuss.
Alright.
It was a cold January morning. It was time to go to school. We had just gotten finished with winter break. And all of a sudden, I heard thumping in my basement. It gave me goosebumps all over.
It was the Russians. They'd kicked in the front door. They were screaming in obscenities and throwing vodka all over the wall. I didn't understand a lick of it.
And all I heard was my heart beating in my chest. Thump, thump. And a raven landed on my shoulder. And said, the Russians are here.
They said, we've come in 1, 2, 3, hop. We're looking for a second baseman or a shortstop.
There were no shortstops here, and these guys weren't playing. So I went over to my dad's bed, and I pulled out his .45.
And I said, the Russians, they're here. Oh no! And he looked at me and he said, son, go to Canada.
I ran to Canada, but on the way I fell into a pit.
And in that pit, a bunch of green goo started to...
And a pendulum was swinging.
With the green goo in the pit.
Inside the green goo, there was bodies everywhere.
Bodies were big, the bodies were small. Bodies were hairy, the bodies were from the mall. I had to find the root of this problem once and for all, so I called up my good friend. His name was Tiny Paul.
He was Dominican.
And the bells on the phone chimed.
And as they were chiming, I felt my braces starting to stick to my gums.
We realized it was a Tide bomb, a Tide bomb. I knew I was the only one that could defuse it. So.
And all the while, the rhyming and the chiming of
Bells were
bells.
bells.
It stunk. It smelled really bad. I
think that it was my raven who had died.
My stupid brother was there all along. He killed the raven.
So I threw him in front of the bomb, and he took it. He was blown to bits, but he was my
Brother, and he wasn't going to be picking on me.
anymore.
So I got myself drunk and began to
I began to tell war stories.
I told of the time where I climbed and climbed to the very top, and I tumbled down right on Pop. Pop didn't like it, not so much, but he did feel in his heart he was very, very touched. So I said, Pop, I'll be with you, I'll be on your side. He said, here, have a plate of Gishka guys.